Hello, sports fans. It's Steven here for JustMyPicks.com, and I'm bringing you a special NFL in-depth breakdown of the 2013 top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. This list has got a lot of quarterbacks on it. I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed by some of the names that are not on this list, but from top to bottom, I went in depth and looked at every team's potential situation going into next season. Injuries do play a factor. That plays a major role, and if a quarterback will be the same. We have a lot of quarterbacks last year that underperformed. You got a lot of quarterbacks that performed higher than a lot of people expected. But the top 10 quarterbacks going into 2013 for the NFL season, number one, we're going to start off where I don't think a lot of people will argue or debate. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, pound for pound, is one of the best quarterbacks, probably the best in the NFL. He is really doing a lot of good things in this system he's in Green Bay. Mike McCarthy and those guys, he finally has a run game. I know that they got Eddie Lacy and Franklin out of UCLA. That'll really help him and give him a lot more weapons than he's ever had in the run game as far as Green Bay is concerned. Aaron Rodgers just takes any team he's on to a whole nother level. We've seen his confidence. We've seen him go last year where they played pretty well throughout the season and lost. But we see that with the losses of Greg Jennings, who's going to step up? They have a lot of solid young receivers like Jordy Nelson. You also have the running back. They give a different dynamic to the protections and the schemes that they play in. Aaron Rodgers no longer has to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game. He can hand the ball off to his left or to his right, to Lacy or to Franklin. Also, that defense also is going to be better improved for the Green Bay Packers, so that's why I picked him at number one. Also, number two, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was one of the best comeback stories we've seen in a long, long time. The Denver Broncos were one game away from going to the Super Bowl. If they would have played a little bit better defense against the Baltimore Ravens, they would have been there. But Peyton Manning has done his job. Peyton Manning has come back and taken a Broncos team that was previously led by Tim Tebow into the playoffs, but they have to do more. Peyton Manning during the regular season got him on that 10-game winning streak. He found a comfortable target with Eric Decker and Bebe Thomas. Also, adding Wes Welker to that formula. You know Wes Welker is going to catch 100-plus balls in his Peyton Manning system. They've already showed chemistry in the early OTAs that they've been doing. It's just going to be a great season for Peyton Manning. Adding Tom Brady's old weapon, Wes Welker, to the equation just makes him that much better. Third, Tom Brady. Even though he did lose Wes Welker, you have to look at the tight end situation. If Gronkowski comes back healthy and Aaron Hernandez plays well as we expect him to, they're going to be a dangerous team. Wes Welker, yes, was a big loss for him, but going into next season, you have Danny Amendola from the Rams. You also got a couple of free agent pickups that they did. Also, Tom Brady is predicated on using players that are no names, that people that we're not comfortable with or we don't know, they're not household names. So I've seen several players go through that Patriot mill to where they become household names after a season. And Tom Brady is one of the best players to do that. Also, Bill Belichick is his head coach. I have faith in the Patriots will bounce back and have a great season. Number four, Drew Brees. Adding his head coach back, Sean Payton, will make this team more dynamic. That offense will be more explosive. Having your head coach and the master architect of the offense not there for an entire season really got the Saints' offense off balance last season. We didn't see the surprise plays. We didn't see the great packages that we normally see from the Saints because their best offensive coordinator and head coach is all the same person. He was suspended. So I look forward to the Saints bouncing back and seeing that offense put up career numbers going into next season. Number five, Colin Kaepernick. A lot of people are going to try to say that Colin Kaepernick is a one-hit wonder. He can't do this. He can't do that. We've seen Colin Kaepernick play in very big games. I know he started slow in the Super Bowl, but he came back and he played well. We've seen him play throughout the season. He took over for Alex Smith when his situation was his injury situation, as we saw, and he carried this team. This team just got even more loaded on defense and on offense. The addition of Anquan Bolden is going to be huge. Anquan Bolden, you can throw it anywhere near him in the area code. He's going to snatch that thing down and catch it. You also have Michael Crabtree. You have a healthy Mario Manningham coming back off that leg injury. You don't have Randy Moss anymore, but you still have Vernon Davis. You still have Frank Gore. And then the adding of LaMichael James, and you also have the kid out of South Carolina who has battled the injuries that I think that if he comes back and he's healthy, he'll give Colin Kaepernick just another added dimension. Also, with the dual threat where you can run and you can pass, that makes Colin Kaepernick very dangerous because he has a strong arm, plus he's elusive. He can get away from a lot of players. At number 6, this is probably the only rookie from last season that is on this list, because I don't believe Andrew Luck and RG3 are going to make this list, because RG3 dealing with that knee injury, it takes almost a full year for you to recover from things like that. I don't see him being as good as he was last year. And Andrew Luck, I think they just caught fire last year. They rode emotions going into that. But at number 6, Russell Wilson. With the adding of Percy Harvin to that offense, Percy Harvin is a game breaker. Percy Harvin is probably the best kick returner in the NFL right now. With his speed, he creates such a mismatch for any big corner or small corner, any defense, because he can get in and out very quickly. Speed kills in the NFL. Plus, you have Sidney Rice. You also have Marshawn Lynch, the baby beast back there, who also takes a lot of pressure off him. You have Golden Tate out there. You have a lot of weapons that you can use and utilize in this offense. Also, Pete Carroll is a mastermind of bringing in players that play well together and also getting the job done. We saw last year Russell Wilson get his first playoff win over RG3, even though RG3 was hurt. But Russell Wilson is a solid quarterback. A lot of people did not get to see him really do his thing because he played oftentimes on the West Coast. Their games were not East Coast friendly. So Russell Wilson is my number 6 quarterback. Coming in at number 7, Big Ben Roethlisberger. I know a lot of people talk about how he can't stay healthy and these things. I feel like Big Ben has a lot to prove. This will be his 2nd year in this offense with Todd Haley as their offensive coordinator. I know that they brought Emmanuel Sanders back. He was potentially a Patriot. Ben Roethlisberger is a big, strong quarterback. A lot of people forget he plays with a big cannon on his shoulder. He has a lot to prove each and every game. Even though he is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, he doesn't get his respect for having those rings. I think Big Ben will have a breakout season, and he'll also remind us why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC North. I can't speak to the Steelers defense because they are getting older, but I will say the offense will pick up next season. Big Ben, having all those changes around the team and having all those things going on, he will focus in, he will harness in on what made him successful and got him those 2 Super Bowls. And I think that they'll do well. Coming in at number 8, the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan. I know in the past I've been hard on this man about him choking and him coming up small. But I do think that having another season with Julio Jones, Roddy White, and Tony Gonzalez, adding Steven Jackson to that mix, is only going to make this team potentially better. Michael Turner was a little older. He was an old running back. They swapped out him for Steven Jackson. I think Steven Jackson will be able to finish out games late. Steven Jackson is a threat to go to the house each and every time he gets the ball. He's a big physical runner, which gives Matt Ryan another weapon to use. And Steven Jackson can catch the ball very well out the backfield. I think that the Atlanta Falcons are in great hands with Matt Ryan. I think that if he's able to focus in and they're able to play 4 quarters of football come playoff time, I think that he'll be a great fit in this system. Mike Smith has these guys set for success. Their defense is their problem. That's the only problem they have on the Atlanta Falcons. They can't stop a lot of people on defense, but their offense is very explosive. One of the best, if the not best. Coming in at number 9, Cam Newton. I know a lot of people are down on the Carolina Panthers, but you have to remember, Cam Newton has been putting up great numbers since his rookie season. Cam Newton is, I think, the best out of all quarterbacks with the dual threat running and passing. I think that he has Steve Smith, which is a reliable target, but they need to add a lot more weapons. Brandon LaFell was a great weapon, but I just don't see him as one of those game-breaking wide receivers. The Carolina Panthers are at a point now where they need to get rid of their head coach, Ron Rivera, and get an offensive guru or offensive coach in there that can really draft pieces around Cam Newton or trade for pieces around Cam Newton. Cam Newton has amazing talent, God-gifted talent. I know that at times he could be immature, but on that football field in his game time, when Superman arrives, you know it's time for Cam Newton to shine. But Cam Newton comes in at number 9 and my number 10 quarterback. I know that a lot of people were talking about how the Ravens lost a lot of stuff on defense and a lot of stuff on offense, but I have to give it to Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He proved it last season, throwing in a lot of times to Anquan Bolden, Jacoby Jones, and you even had Smith. you have a lot of weapons on offense. They didn't lose a lot of weapons on offense. Their key primary losses were on defense with Ray Lewis, Daniel Ellaby, Paul Cougar. It can be fixed because you do still have Ray Rice, one of the best running backs in the NFL. You can spread these guys out. You still have one of the best tight ends in the NFL in Dennis Pitta. So I see Joe Flacco as being the top 10 quarterback to round out this group. Like I said earlier, Andrew Luck, RG3, Mike Vick, a lot of these quarterbacks that didn't make this top 10 list, either because of issues with their offensive line, issues with injuries. I think RG3 could crack this list if he comes back and plays healthy. I think that RG3 is 4th or 5th on this list if he finishes the season healthy. But again, with those knee injuries, I just do not think that he'll come back as he was before he left. I think it'll take a little bit more time. And also, Andrew Luck, I think that he caught lightning in a bottle. He should be on this list, but I just don't have faith in him going into next season. This has been an NFL Top 10 Quarterback Breakdown with your host, Stephen Hill for JustMyPicks.com. You can check me out on Facebook at JustMyPicksTV. You can also check me out on YouTube, YouTube.com/JustMyPicksTV. Also, check us out on Twitter. Follow us, JustMyPicksTV. Thank you very much for subscribing, and please comment.